Good morning from the Alton Towers Resorts, where you're watching Theme Park Worldwide, and it's the final day of the 2024 theme park season. And you know what? It's going to be our last chance to walk around the park today, see all the rides in operation, get a few rides in as well, and going to be enjoying the fireworks spectacular one final time tonight as well. If you haven't already, though, make sure you check out our vlog from the Ultimate Fireworks Spectacular. It truly is a brilliant show every year, but this year I feel like it's just even more special with it being based on the Phalanx, and of course titled the Phalanx Expo, all based on the story of Nemesis and Forbidden Valley. They really did a phenomenal job with this year's display. There's also a full video of the show here on the channel as well, so make sure you check them out if you haven't already seen it. But in this vlog, I'm going to walk around the park and just enjoy for one final time this year. Of course, the next time Alton Towers will open its gates for the full theme park will be in March 2025. We'll also have the new ride then as well, which is really exciting. I was going to walk around all the different areas today, capture that last footage of all the different rides in action, and just kind of reminisce on what has been quite a difficult season for Alton Towers. Yes, there's been some amazing highlights this year, such as the opening of Nemesis Reborn, the transformation of Forbidden Valley, new things for Scarefest, and of course the Ultimate Fireworks. But sadly we have had some poor operations this year, and some other sad moments too, you know, so we're just going to have a stroll around the park, kind of talk a bit about the year, a year in review so to speak, and just enjoy Alton Towers for one final time. I'll tell you what though, I do miss this park a lot over winter, but I feel like this winter is a crucial time for the park to really sort out them operations and maintenance, some TLC around the park, ready for hopefully a much better 2025. But come and join us here on the channel for a stroll around Alton Towers Resort, the biggest theme park here in the UK, on its final operational day of 2024.
Hey, back home time, here we go!
Actually just started off the day with a ride on Spinball Whizzer. That's been a real highlight of this year, having some single rider queues come back, especially here on Spinball Whizzer. It's great because you can easily come straight on for a quick ride, and even though it's only just opened at 10 o'clock this morning and there's a short wait anyway, thought may as well go for a single rider. We're straight up and straight on a first ride this morning. Fantastic. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the single riders that have started to be implemented again. Obviously Spinball Whizzer has got single rider, 13 that brought that back. The Smiler, that's been on for a while now, but it's good to see them three coasters all having single rider. I'm hoping that in the long term we'll see more single riders coming back to Alton Towers, you know, because I think it'd be great. At the end of the day, it's just filling what would normally be empty seats on the ride. So yeah, that's been a real highlight of the year, having some single riders come back. Well, more rides on Spinball Whizzer the past couple of months I think I've ever had in a season. Comment down below though, have you made the most of single riders? I've been chatting with a lot of you that certainly have made the most of them, you know, and it saves a lot of time. Let's get some more rides in during your trip to Alton Towers. Yeah, hopefully this winter we might see some more come back. I'd like to think so. Now normally Spinball Whizzer would actually be open for the park's Christmas event, but this year it isn't for the first time in many years, which is a shame because obviously Spinball was always good fun to get on at Christmas. So yeah, nice to have a last ride of the season. Yeah, it's going to be closed until probably March, Spinball Whizzer, unless they decide to open it for the Pirate Takeover. I mean, we might see that expand a bit more for this year. It'd be good to see. I mean, I'd love to see Spinball open for that, and also as well, maybe Wicker Man, that'd be great for Pirate Takeover. But I guess we'll see what happens, you know, it'd be good to see that event expand. Yeah, shame about Christmas this year, but we'll talk more about that later on. There goes the Smiler. Yeah, it's going head down into X sector for the last time this year. Yeah, I forgot to mention just, but Pirate Takeover happens in February half term, and yeah, that is back for next year. That's the thing, you've got two events where there's a selected ride offering over the winter period. Of course, one of them is Christmas, that runs from the end of November through into December, and then you've also got the Pirate Takeover in February half term. So yeah, there are two different events that they run, where it's a very limited ride offering, especially Christmas this year. Doesn't feel too busy so far this morning. That's the thing though, if you are here for park opening, it takes a long time for people to get in on the monorail now. I did get the monorail in this morning. I just saw from that footage at the start of the vlog, and yeah, it was only running 2 trains, so it took a while. Thought I'd get it for one last time though. But yeah, I think the monorail is one of the things that's going to need significant investment in the near future. Love or hate the Smiler, it's an impressive ride, isn't it, from off-ride? And yes, it does get quite rough now, depending on what row you sat on. I still think it's a front row ride for me, the Smiler. Like down on the front, it is a great experience. Of course, it does get quite rough, the final 3 inversions, as it makes its way down there. But you know what, it is a great coaster. Fantastic ride. Of course, still is the record holder as well for the most inversions anywhere in the world at 14. Of course, the Smiler opened back in 2013 as well. The ride where me and Charlotte met. Amazing. Yeah, Charlotte's just at home having a chill this morning, and she'll be coming up later on to enjoy the fireworks for a 3rd and final time tonight as well. But yeah, the Smiler down here in X Sector. 45-minute wait this morning, not too bad. Oblivion's only on 5. So I always say get here early because you can hit out a couple of things straight away before joining a larger queue. You know, like if you got here this morning early, you could have got Spinball Wizard in, Oblivion, and then be in the queue with the Smiler, you know, so it's pretty good that. Gonna give it a miss though this morning. Probably have a ride on here again later. Smile always. Love this shot of Oblivion just here. Empty shuttle. That quiet this morning. Well, with it being walk, I thought maybe I'll have a ride here on Oblivion. Why not? Opened back in 1998. First ever dive coaster from Swiss manufacturer Bolliger & Mabillard, and still one of the best in my opinion. The drop on Oblivion is fantastic. Out of all the dive coasters out there, yes, there's taller and steeper and all that now, I still think this drop is the best out of all the dive coasters. I think dropping into the hole with all the mist is just incredible. So yeah, the last ride of the year here on Oblivion. It is always sad though when you're riding these rides all year, both on and off camera. You know, we come a lot as well when we don't film, even just for a few hours. It's sad when it's your last rides for quite a few months, you know. You can't pass over walk on ride there on Oblivion. A fantastic ride. You know, the force going into that drop is fantastic, but it's also the anticipation going up the lift hill, hearing them anti-rollbacks, you couldn't get up the lift, and then going really slow around that corner at the top, seeing the beautiful views of the Staffordshire countryside, and then of course heading round to the precipice and dropping down. It's a fantastic ride. I love Oblivion, and yes, you spend a lot of time on the brake run after, but you got to think it was the original. You know, I think it's a fantastic ride, and still one of my favourites here at Alton Towers. I'm going to head round now for a ride on Hex, the legend of the towers, or as I've been calling it now the past few weeks, Disco Hex. It's certainly lost a lot of its realistic ambience now. It's more kind of fun and bright. Not a huge fan of the lighting changes at all, but it is good to see it back open. It's certainly added some much needed capacity to the park throughout Scarefest and also for the fireworks weekend. Saying that though, today, look at this, it's not that busy at all yet. Just waiting in the queue then now for Hex, and of course the legendary chained oak tree does exist down in Alton Village. In fact, over winter, probably have a bit of a walk down there and take you along for a video over on our second channel, the Sandbrook Adventures. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Gonna have a winter stroll down to the chained oak at some point over the close season. Yeah, it's fascinating going down there and seeing the actual tree that of course this attraction is based on. Something that I've always loved about this attraction is just the smell pods hit you as soon as you walk in. Oh, that kind of foisty old smell. That's what really makes Hex. Yeah, if you do want to hear a full review of the refurbished Hex, there is a video on the channel from just before Scarefest, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already seen it, where I go into detail about my thoughts about the refurbishment and some of the lighting changes. But like I say, I'm happy to have it back open. You'll see when we come off. You know what? It's wonderful having Hex back open here at Alton Towers. As much as I'm not a huge fan of some of the lighting changes, it's still a fantastic attraction and very immersive from start to finish. And I just love the fact that you're going through the actual towers themselves. You start off in the cinema room, where it tells you the story of the chained oak. You then make your way into the octagon room itself, which you can see is actually this part of the towers. And then that's the point where you leave the towers themselves through a corridor that you can see here that heads into the show building, which is the big green warehouse you can see there. You wouldn't tell when you're inside. It's done so well. That transition between the actual towers and the main ride building, the vault itself, is beautifully done. And of course, this does ruin the illusion when you come out here at the moment. Here's the exit. Obviously, this is only temporary during Scarefest and fireworks, because they use Her Ladyship's Gardens for a queue for the scare mazes, and during fireworks as a launch area. So normally you don't see this. So I just thought I'd show you it, because to be honest, I don't think I've ever recorded this and shown you it. So just gives you a bit of an idea, especially for those of you that don't know much about the attraction, or maybe you've never visited in the past. It just shows you, you know, you've got the main towers and then literally this wooden building which is connected, which takes you through into the vault. It's a fascinating ride though. I do love it to bits. I just hope this winter they can refine the lighting in there just to give it a bit more realism again. And with us exiting Hex that way at the moment, leads us straight here into the world of David Williams. Have a little stroll around here. The family area down here at the back of the park. Obviously CBeebies being that main family area down at the front. We have got Williams here at the back, and just off to the edge of it, Cuckoo Cars Driving School. It's always been a bit of a weird fix. Obviously, technically, this isn't David Williams there on the left. This is just its own thing. Obviously, it used to be Cloud Cuckoo Land back in the day, and yeah, still called the Cuckoo Cars Driving School. And you go past these bushes that are conveniently placed, and they're now in the world of David Williams here. Yeah, this is an area that, you know, it'd be interesting to see what happens in the long term. I can't see this sticking about for many, many years. You know, I'd love to see this area completely transformed, maybe using the Dungeons building as a new dark ride, a new boat ride or something. Would be lovely, you know, going forwards. And a re-theme of Gangster Granny, you know. I mean, I just love to see this area transformed into something more about Alton Towers, you know. Like an original area, maybe like for Alton Bear or Sir Algernon, all like the backstory to the Alton Towers Hotel, you know, that sort of idea. Really build on that with their own characters. And then it just becomes timeless then as well, instead of, you know, something that is going to run out. And that's the thing with things like David Williams and CBeebies, eventually, these things aren't as popular, and then they have to spend a lot of money changing them. I think a good original idea is the best thing to do. I mean, it works for the major coasters here, doesn't it? So it'd be really nice to see them do that with some of the family rides moving forward. I think, you know, you don't necessarily need to have everything IP for families. You create a good quality dark ride and theme, and it'll last for years. I mean, look at Toyline Tours back in the day. It was amazing. Brilliant ride. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the long term, but I'd love to see that area change and incorporate all of this into a brand new family themed area. I think it'd be amazing. It's just a bit of a dead spot here in the park, and you know my thoughts on the Alton Towers dungeon. The actors in there do a great job, and I really do enjoy the dungeons in general. You know, when we go to other dungeons around the country, you know, it's fantastic. But here at Alton Towers, you know, people come for the theme park, people come for the rides, not for an upcharge attraction such as the dungeon. So we'll see what happens. You know, is this going to reopen next year? Probably so. But of course, yeah, we'll just see what happens moving forward. You've got a brilliant ride system already in there with the boat ride. And even if they wanted to change that and replace it with something in the future, you got the infrastructure of the building just there. It just seems like a huge waste of potential, this whole area. And I know it was used for 2 of the family scare attractions this year, but in the long term, this could be a beautiful new family dark ride to complement an expanded area just over there and put some new rides in. This would be lovely around here. And then, of course, in the long term, hopefully we'll hear more from Project Horizon. I mean, I have got a bit of an update to share on that. I'll do a separate video about that in the coming weeks, but that's the plans for the huge new indoor ride in a building way back there in what used to be Coaster Corner. It has all gone a bit quiet from that, and unfortunately it's not sounding like we're going to be hearing anything exciting very soon regarding Project Horizon. But like I said, I've got a bit of an update. I'm going to do a bit of a recap on that as we get into the winter. But yeah, this whole area, I just love to see it get completely transformed in the future. It's one of the weakest areas of the park now. Looks really tired around here. And the big thing that we're all hoping for in 2025 is, of course, the return of the Sky Ride. It spent the whole of 2023 and 2024 closed. And of course, it's a huge part of the infrastructure for people getting around this park. It's a huge park, Alton Towers, and we really need to see the Sky Ride back open next year. The good news is throughout the year, there's been quite a bit of work happening. As recent as last week, I saw some work happening on one of the lines and in some of the stations. A couple of the gondolas have been seen out. So there has been active work happening on this. The park have stayed quite quiet. They've not really said anything else about it yet, but fingers crossed we're going to see this back open from March 2025. I know the resort said it's going to be a huge infrastructure project costing millions of pounds to repair this, but it's so important to see the Sky Ride come back for next year. It really is. So yeah, let's hope that everything's still on the cards for this to return at the start of next season, because it really needs to. And of course, an even bigger issue that really needs sorting out for next year is ride availability. And unfortunately, it's one of them again today. 13 has been closed for 3 days now, and Rita's closed this morning as well, which means the whole of Dark Forest is out of action. Like, really not been great this year, ride availability. I don't know what's been going on, but let's just hope these issues are sorted for next year. That's the whole area of the park out of action this morning. And this is the issue, isn't it, when you have areas of the park that don't have supporting flat rides. We saw that on that Scarefest Monday a couple of weeks ago, which was terrible. Like I said, that was the worst day I've ever had here at Alton Towers in all the years I've been coming. But yeah, that's why filler flat rides are just so important. They really are. Like down here, they really need another ride, and not much point running there, boys. Not a lot down here to see, but yeah, they really need to look at some filler flats in the future, like one down here in Dark Forest, another one in X Sector, because obviously when you've got both coasters down like this, you just got nothing in this whole area of the park. And it's sad because you look back to the days of when this was Ugland, you know, there used to be loads of rides down here. Remember the Ugg Bugs that used to be here on the left? Obviously you had the Ugg Swinger down at the bottom that later became the Twirling Toadstool. You know, so many supporting rides this area used to have, and then here it is now where, you know, when two coasters are down, there's nothing down here to see. Yeah, it's really sad, quite depressing at the moment down here in this part of the park. So that's the thing, Sky Ride's a big issue, but I feel like, you know, this is the biggest issue. It's that ride availability. And here we are, seeing the season out once again with an area where everything's closed. Yeah, 13's been shut for the whole fireworks weekend so far. In fact, we can't even get down there, it's barriered off. There we go. Quite a sad sight, isn't it, really? That's it. Closed off. Yeah, nothing to see down here. Let's hope that things get better next year, because it can't go on like this into 2025. I tell you what though, it's a lot quieter today than I was expecting for the final day of the season. I mean, you look at this main core pathway, this is always a good place to stand to get an idea on how busy the park is. So you can see like all these three big paths that all connect up. And yeah, to be honest, it's not actually that busy. Oh, someone's shouting us, hey, Theme Park Worldwide on YouTube. Oh. I do love how they're playing all this theme music around the park though, building up to the Phalanx Expo. Like I say, not going to be filming the fireworks in this video. Going to enjoy it off camera. It's nice to me coming the 3 nights. You know, I do really appreciate the fact we get to come for all 3 nights and see it. Because obviously I always film the first night, and it's great to kind of watch it. I don't have my phone out or anything for the other 2 nights. Nice just to take it all in and just get them visual memories really, you know, just to capture it all on my own memory. And of course it's there on YouTube as well for everyone to enjoy. Anyone for one final ride of the season on Battle Galleons? I say one final ride of the season. I think I've been on it once this year. Yeah, it's probably my least ridden ride at the whole park. It's one of them though, isn't it? We just don't really have the weather for a splash battle. It's one of the best themed rides in the park though. Like, it's great down here. I do love the theming. They did a good job, like with the castle, like station area just over there, and complements the tower's ruins as well, like how they added that just over there, you know. Yeah, I do like Mutiny Bay. I wouldn't fancy getting soaked though for fireworks. It'd be a long day, wouldn't it? 10 till 9, being soaked. But yeah, I do like the theme down here. I like the little shark spinning round. It's one of my favourites, just off to the side. See it just down there, and obviously with the courtyard as well. It's beautiful just over there, you know, another original part of the Alton Towers estate. And that's the thing with Alton Towers, you know, it's the location which has always made it really special. Like looking out and seeing the beautiful towers in the background just there, like they are incredible. You know, they've really got the landscape here and the location to be somewhere really special again, you know, and I hope that, you know, Alton Towers has a bright future. I really do. It's not nice coming here and moaning about the park, you know, it's not about that. It's about keeping it realistic and constructive, and praising where praise is due, but also not covering things up, you know, and being very honest. I think it's going to be a difficult 2025, you know, for the park moving forward. So I just hope that, you know, we can see through like a lot of cutbacks and changes that are going to be made across Merlin this winter to just hopefully make next year a lot better. But I think it's going to take a couple of years really until we start seeing the park back on its top form, you know. But the shark will just keep swimming around. It's quite fun over winter because obviously they drain the lake just here to do the maintenance on the trough for battle galleons, and yeah, you get to see like all the workings for it all, and you can still see some of the old mechanism for the swan boats over winter when they drain this. You can see like some of the turntables and stuff just down there as well, which is really cool, and you get to see all the workings and mechanism for the shark. Right then, before we head through Mutiny Bay and up through Katanga Canyon, Gloomy Wood and Forbidden Valley, have a little walk through CBeebies Land. Hey! Have a little stroll through here. Obviously CBeebies is one of the areas that's open as part of the Christmas event. Let's go and have a walk through the main family area here at the park. They always do a good job, I think, with CBeebies there. It always looks nice and fresh. I think a part of that is because of the cause of the licensing. They have to make sure that it is up to BBC standards, you know. They're out here. Yeah, we're going to have a little walk through the area. CBeebies Land. Still miss Storybook Land, that was my childhood. Well, at least I got that iconic piece of Alton Towers history back home in the theme park collection. The bookworm used to stand just over here on the right hand side. So you used to be able to walk down here. There'd be a book just here, you press the button on the book, and obviously it'd activate the animatronic. So yeah, this little pond was here before, and then obviously the bookworm used to stand right about where that post is there now. Obviously CBeebies has been here for 10 years now, so it's 10 years the bookworm. There you go, yeah, the little book itself used to be right here. There you go, so you can just see the reminiscence just there. So this used to be a pole sticking up, then you used to press the button here, and that'd activate the animatronic. Oh, busy down here in CBeebies Land, 45 minutes for Get Set Go, Treetop Adventure, aka the old Squirrel Nutty. It used to be when I was growing up. Oh, I love Squirrel Nutty. Still a good fun ride though, Get Set Go. You get some nice views over the area. Would have had to go on it if it was like 15, 20, but yeah, 45. Quite busy. Octonauts 15 down here, little junior coaster. Not too bad at all, 15 minutes for the Octonauts. 5-minute wait just here for Go Jetters. Yeah, not too bad at all. And that is the thing with CBeebies. The area doesn't feel like it gets as busy as it used to, but they have added a lot of new attractions as well, which is good to see. And yeah, I'm sure we'll see even more investment coming to this area at some point in the near future, maybe 2026. Possibly might be due another addition down in here. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, we're not quite as bad as that Scarefest Monday when I came up, but yeah, it's not looking good, is it? There we go, 13, Galactica, Wickerman and Rita are all closed. And yeah, obviously here on Queue Time Hub, tells you how long they've been down for. Obviously 13 closed all day. Galactica's been down for 32 minutes, Wickerman 11, and then Rita down for 1 hour and 29 minutes. So it did open this morning, Rita, but yeah, it's been shut for yeah, like 90 minutes now. In the Night Garden, that's always one of the busier rides normally down here in the area. I think the only reason why Get Set Go had such a big queue is because it's running on reduced capacity at the moment. Yeah, nowhere near as many bugs going round. Oh, this doesn't even look too bad in the Night Garden, to be fair. 10 minutes, wow. Rare to see in the Night Garden on a 10-minute queue. And as much as in general, I'm not a fan of IPs in theme parks. I think that CBeebies Land is still a great area. Like, it's very colourful and bright. It's got lots of attractions in here. And yeah, overall it's just a nice area of the park, you know. If anything for me, like I said earlier on, it's David Walliams, that area is the one that really needs the work. CBeebies line, you know, they look after it, it's quite well maintained, they've invested. But yeah, Walliams down there, it's just not the best. Feels really like just dreary compared to this down here. Tell you what, Postman Pat, not busy at all, 5 minutes for Postman Pat. Parcel post. There he is, Postman Pat himself. If you're ever going on this, there's a little hidden gem that's on the right hand side here. To be honest, I'd have only wouldn't have noticed this if I didn't work on it, because I used to operate this ride. Literally on the right here, I can't see it from here, but there's a picture of Alton Towers just on this wall. Really nice picture. Yeah, it's literally just through here, so you can't see it from here. Hey, when you're on the ride, you can see it, unless you can maybe see it from this angle, just down here. No, I don't think you will. Yeah, literally on the left here. There we go, there's a lovely picture of Alton Towers. Yeah, you can't see it from off-ride. There's something to look out for next time you go on Postman Pat. And that's a bit of a look there in CBeebies Land. Obviously it is open for Christmas, so we're back in a few weeks for the start of the Christmas events. Obviously the lineup has been reduced quite a bit for this year. We'll still come and check it out and see what Christmas at the resort has to offer. Because it's always nice seeing the decorations here on Towers Street. All the lights normally look nice, but obviously it's closing at 4 o'clock for Christmas this year. So yeah, it's been trying to see if they decorate as much, or you know, if they do, you're not really going to get to see a lot of the lights. Lots more people coming into the park now for the final night of 2024 season here at Alton Towers, and the Phalanx Expo certainly being the highlight of the year. What they've done with the fireworks is amazing, it really is. Like, I've really enjoyed it so much. Just having the Phalanx walking round as well. Hello! Brilliant, I just love that, interacting with everyone and up there on the podiums as well. This show is amazing, it really is. And obviously we did a vlog the other day sharing our full review and filmed like the pre-show and the build up to it all. But yeah, incredible, really impressed with what Alton Towers have done with the fireworks. I just wish that the whole park was ran. Hey, you alright? Hey, I just wish the whole park was ran as good as they do fireworks, because honestly, if they did, it'd be one of the best parks in Europe. Beauty Bay is another one of the areas that is open for Christmas this year, and they normally put quite a few decorations around for that, so we'll come and see. And yeah, more work taking place on the Skyride station by the looks of it. There's some scaffolding over on the right hand side there now as well. And yeah, throughout the year we've seen bits happen now on all the different supports just here for the Skyrides. Yeah, like I say, it's looking promising for that being back for next year. And I've missed it a lot. Yes, it's more about the transportation, but it is still a ride in the park, isn't it? You know, it's nice to go on there and get some views, especially looking out towards the gardens. Going over the valley there is beautiful, like from Forbidden Valley over to David Walliams. Like that route there is fantastic. Some walk-on flats down here in Mutiny Bay. This is why flat rides are so important, and of course I'm really grateful that we're getting the new one next year in Forbidden Valley. I just hope that we see more come to other areas of the park, especially Dark Forest and X Sector, that both have had flat rides in the past and are desperate for them now, because like just little rides like this just help soak up the queues from the bigger rides. You know, it's like if Wickerman's down, it doesn't matter as much because you have got other things around here. You got the Sea Life Centre, and you know, there's other things just to help soak up some of the queues, you know. That's why flat rides are so important. It's not necessarily about the ride experience, it's just them being there, little filler rides for people to do. And I know we have the Retro Squad. I am still pleased that they were removed for this year, because I was never a huge fan of the Retro Squad and the look of them, but they did serve a purpose, you know, for a few years. I was just hoping that we'd have had some permanent replacements by now. It shouldn't have took this long really, to have had some permanent replacements, but at least we got one for next year. Let's just hope the next few years we see more flat rides coming in. 55-minute wait for Wickerman. I'm still a firm believer that this 2018 GCI wooden roller coaster was the best investment that Alton Towers have made since Nemesis back in 1994. Brilliant ride. Wickerman's just a fantastic coaster from start to finish, and the theme and experience of it as well. And of course, even better at night as well. Feed the flames. They just love the roar of the Woody as it comes round. Oh. What's really cool is your Wicker Man, it actually stays open throughout the fireworks, which I've always been surprised about, you know, because we are quite close to the lawns here. But no, Wicker Man does stay open during the fireworks. I know quite a few people have been on Wicker as the fireworks have been going off, and myself, I can never do that, you know, because I love being on the lawns in the heart of it all. But I can understand why some people that aren't a big fan of shows and fireworks may want to come a bit further back. And also, standing like over there in the queue line, with Big Bob just there, the Wicker Man himself in the foreground with the fireworks going off behind, makes some incredible photos and videos. But yeah, as long as it stays at 3 nights, I'll always be down there on the lawns. If they ever go back to 4 or 5 nights of fireworks like it used to be back in the day, then maybe I could come away from the lawns one night and come and watch it from here. But yeah, Wicker Man, great investment. When it's running 3 trains as well, really good throughput. Whilst we're here in East New May, you may as well have a little walk through Sharkbait Reef by Sea Life. Not been in the aquarium for quite a while actually, so yeah, let's go and have a look. I really like the theming in here and the music and the lighting, and that's the thing, even the lighting in here is a lot better and more subtle than what they did in Hex, you know. I just don't know how they could get the lighting so wrong for Hex, you know, it does make me sad when they do such a good job with lighting and attractions like this. And obviously the big one was the Curse at Alton Manor last year, you know, really atmospheric in a lot of the scenes. And of course you've got many different sea life centres throughout the country, and in the past we filmed a few of them and put vlogs here on this channel. From next year, the Sandbrook Adventures is going to be the home to like your sea life centres and other like Merlin Midway attractions, so make sure you head over to our second channel so you feel like, you know, the sea life content kind of fits better over there. Obviously we'll keep this in the Alton Towers vlogs because yeah, we're here at Alton Towers, but yeah, with the standalone sea life centres and things like that, they're going to be coming up over on the other channel moving forward. It's like things like Madame Tussauds. I think it fits a lot better now with the Sandbrook Adventures than here on Theme Park Worldwide. So yeah, expect that change for next year, along with some other exciting bits.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Hazel, look at that.
What you looking at? It looks so fun.
It's the last day of the season. Always like to do a nice full walk around the park and see everything really, all the different rides and walk through areas. And just document things, you know, 'cause you never know what's going to change over winter. Through into the main ocean tunnel.
I can feel it in my bones. All I need is some flow to show me the way. Shivering timbers, the ghost of the sea has claimed me.
Let's run.
I do always enjoy a walk through Sharkbait Reef. Nice, the aquarium. On a rainy day it's even better as well, because obviously when the weather's a bit miserable outside, you can just go in there and yeah, stay dry. Up into Katanga Canyon now. And of course there's only one operational ride now here in Katanga Canyon because the Congo River Rapids has been closed for its winter maintenance for the past few weeks. However, it doesn't really look like any winter maintenance has started. All the boats are just over there still, and yeah, I think that was just done, to be honest, for an operational cutback, with it requiring so many staff to run this now, and also as well, it is one of the most expensive rides to operate anyway from a power point of view. I think for me though, it's sad that the Rapids has been closed throughout Scarefest and fireworks because it's not actually been that cold, you know, so I think a lot of people would have gone on the Rapids. And of course, you know, you've got Battle Galleons, the splash battle, as we saw earlier, that's still been operational during this time of year. If anything, it would have made more sense for that to have been closed and this to have been open. Obviously Battle Galleons only takes a couple of members of staff, whereas the Rapids here now takes a lot, especially the past few years with them being required to have staff members all the way round. Yeah, it takes a lot of staff to run this now. Yeah, shame it's been closed for the end of the season really. Everybody loves the runaway mine train. Hey! Hey! Oh, I think we got a train full of fans of the channel on there. That's quite funny. Brilliant, good interactions. Strolling down from Katanga Canyon then, here into Gloomy Wood. Was hoping for a ride on Alton Manor, but I think this is also closed at the moment as well. No viewings at the moment. Oh, we can go see Snowy though over here.
Excuse me, would you like to say hello to Snowy?
I would, I'd love seeing Snowy.
Like to say hello to you?
Oh!
She's quite vicious, ain't she?
Oh,
But it's alright, she only bites once a day.
I love that. Snowy.
Go on, Abby, say hello, say hello.
It really has been a roller coaster of emotions at Alton Towers this year. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, but you know what? There's been some awesome things down at this end of the park. Of course, with Nemesis Reborn and the transformation of Forbidden Valley, and I'll talk more about that when we get down into the area because I've loved it this year in the valley. Of course, just before that, we've had Scarefest this year, which has definitely improved on the past few years. I still don't think Scarefest is back on like the top of its game, but it's certainly been a lot better than it has been for a number of years. And just behind the trees there, Compound was absolutely fantastic. The brand new Scare Maze. I'm hoping for next year, of course, we see at least one new maze, maybe two, and also as well another Scare Zone will be fantastic. But I know there were some really good improvements for Scarefest this year, which was really good to see. But of course, the true highlight of 2024 has been right down here, and that's been Nemesis Reborn. It's just been an icon of the park, hasn't it, since 1994. And Alton Towers had a big decision to make with Nemesis, you know. Was it remove the ride and replace it with something else? Or was it do a complete retracking project and refurbish the ride? And also as well, relaunch it with some new theming and the overall experience of the valley. And of course, they made that decision. The best decision they could have made, in my opinion, was to keep Nemesis here at the park and reimagine it for at least another 30 years. I mean, you know, the original coaster lasted that long. Now, you know, with modern technology and how things have improved, hopefully Nemesis will last even longer than 30 years for future generations to enjoy.
You are now entering the containment zone.
I've always loved Forbidden Valley, but what they did with all this new theming and the soundtrack, incredible. Like, they did such a great job of all this down here. The new signage just here, Phalanx Facility and Forbidden Valley there on the top. And it's great in the daytime, but it's even better at night down here. And of course, it's only going to get better next year with the new flat ride. That's what I really appreciate from Alton Towers this year. The fact they brought back Nemesis, back with a vengeance, but didn't just bring the coaster back. They thought about upgrading the theming of the area. You know, what they did round here in Forbidden Valley is brilliant, it really is. And you know what, the helicopter, I was a bit unsure at first. You know my thoughts on the copter. I love the old big gun that used to be here, but I think the copter looks fantastic. It would have been nice if that big gun could have been preserved and put maybe somewhere else in the area, up in the Nemesis queue line maybe. But yeah, this looks amazing, like, it really does. And like I said, at night when you walk down here, it's on another level, you know, with the music and the smoke. Fantastic. So much thought and attention to detail just went into the overall storyline. Asset ID, Secret Weapon 3, Nemesis. When we first found out they were changing the soundtrack from the '94 original, I was a little bit worried, I'm not going to lie, but they did a great job. I loved the original soundtrack, but I love this one even more. Fantastic. Nemesis Reborn, 55-minute wait, and of course going to be ending the season down here tonight, which I'm looking forward to. Obviously last year couldn't end the season here at Nemesis with it being closed for the retrack, so yeah, it's going to be nice. Last ride of the season on Neme, beautiful. Tell you what, I've not walked down here for a while. The old main queue line for Nemesis. Obviously this is the fast track now, but I thought just gonna have a little walk down here and get a couple of shots. So you get some of the best views still, in my opinion, down here. I do like the new queue line at the top though, but I still do miss walking down here as well, so I thought let's have a little stroll down. The good thing is they check the fast tracks up there at the top. So if you want to just come and have a walk down here and have a look, you can do, like I'm doing now, you know. Would love to see these other waterfalls come back, and you never know, they might do at some point in the future, but at least we've seen one of them come back, which I'm pleased about. Love this shot. One of the best. Yeah, it's great down here. Always remember being a kid and being terrified walking down here, and you see that loop and think, blimey, we're going up there. There she goes. Fantastic. Yeah, I'll just get another couple of angles of the loop down here for you all. It's brilliant down in this fast track queue. Feel the power of that loop when you're standing down here right next to it and building up that anticipation for the ride. Obviously, you know, I do love the new queue line at the top, but I also still miss walking down close to the loop just there. Just for that anticipation. A lot of people see that and thought, blimey, you know, that thing looks terrifying. You don't quite get that same impact going around the top, but you do get some awesome views from up there, looking down at the loop and across Forbidden Valley. Of course, that'll get even better next year with the new flat ride, because you'll see that kind of behind Nemesis, which will look really good. I've just spent many happy hours down in this area this year, both on and off camera, you know. Really is my favourite part of the park. Having Nemesis back, such a special ride for me. Like I say, this channel probably wouldn't exist if Nemesis had never been built. You know, this ride really made me fall in love with Alton Towers and theme parks. Such a special ride. I think that's why, you know, I connected so well with the fireworks even more than ever this year. It's all been based on the phalanx and just the overall storyline for this beast. Beautiful. Really excited though, of course, for the new ride down here. We've been covering it throughout the year, all the foundation, and yeah, we're not really seeing the arrival of the main ride system yet, but I'm sure as we're heading into the close season now, we're going to be seeing this installed very soon. So yeah, the roller coaster restaurant should be open still as normal sometimes over Christmas, so we'll probably book in a few times and come down and have a look at the construction, because obviously roller coaster restaurant is only down to the left there. And we'll get a pretty good view looking at what's going on for the new ride as we submit to the spin in 2025. It's certainly built up a lot of hype over the fireworks weekend, you know, especially with the teaser there at the end of the show, and the fact you've got all these barrels and everything here as well. It's really kind of helped build up the anticipation. Oh, more smoke please for the new rides. Yeah, this is our last look at it really from close up just here. Obviously next time we're down here, we're going to be seeing the ride installed just there, and I tell you what, it's going to look impressive, isn't it? Of course, still rumoured to be that top spin that's going to be coming back here to Alton Towers. Probably a double-sided top spin, similar to Talican at Phantasialand in Germany. It's going to look really good, like raised up on the platform there. And obviously we've got a good idea now on the colour scheme. Looks like it's going to be black, white and green. Looking at all this, maybe very slimy and very toxic. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to look just here as part of Forbidden Valley. And here's one look from just over the fence there at the new ride. So you can see how they've started to put the tarmac down there at the bottom now. You've got the lift obviously in place on the left. The doorways, you've got the steps just here on the right. They look like the exit steps. So obviously the queue line's going to be on the far side. And you've got this metal structure that's going into place just here now. Project Ocean. Really looking forward to it. Just in Bunker 94 right next door. And we're seeing some fantastic merchandise for Nemesis Reborn this year, and like a relaunch range for Nemesis Subterra as well. So I'm excited to see the merchandise for the new ride next year. I'm expecting it to probably very green. But yeah, next time we're in this shop, I'm sure we're going to have all the new merch for the new ride, and maybe some new bits for Nemesis next year as well. You never know. Here you got like the relaunch like Subterra range just here that we have for this year, and I do like these. They've got like one in Towers Trading, which is like of the towers and lots of the rides on. These are great. What you could do with that is obviously you could attach it to the wall, or you could like spray paint that and just do the pattern like over all your wall in loads of different places. That would look quite cool. I tell you what, the amount of these that I've seen that people have been wearing throughout the year, definitely been one of the most popular items. Obviously Charlotte got one as well, and yeah, been one of the most popular items for the Nemesis relaunch this year. Not seen as many of the denim one, most of the black jacket just here. Yeah, I love how they did all this like Nemesis 1994 stuff, and yeah, awesome merch. The eye just up there. All these little hidden things, and obviously one of the original Nemesis signs just up here, hidden away above the fire exit. A lot of people don't notice it. There you go, Nemesis Be Warned, one of the signs that's been preserved just here in the shop. Yeah, I'm sure this shop will be home to lots of new merch for the new ride. I still quite like this shirt actually. Do you like that? Still love this model just here as well that they've got in the shop. Fantastic. And that leaves us down here at the other end of Forbidden Valley, and Galactica just here, but more about that in just a second. First, just wanted to talk a little bit about another one of the negatives of this season. Of course, another year of having Aramark, the food company, running the food and beverage operations at the resorts. Really hasn't been the best again for food and drink at Alton Towers. Other than the roller coaster restaurant, we did really enjoy that. Still operated by Aramark, but we did have a good visit there earlier this year. Again, I'm still hoping that we see some changes to the foods here at Alton Towers in the near future. But to be honest, saved a fortune because we bring a lunchbox all the time now. I've barely bought any food and drink here at Alton Towers this year, because the quality's just not been there and the price is extortionate. Since the hot dogs went up to £9.50, I've not bought one. Galactica, originally opened back in 2002 as Air. Then we saw the retheme into Galactica where they brought in the VR glasses. And of course here we are now where the whole of Forbidden Valley is being transformed by the Phalanx. And of course we've got Galactica, which really does stick out like a sore thumb now, Now there's been a lot of hints this year and in the fireworks display about a potential retheme of Galactica to fit more in with the rest of the Phalanx and also Forbidden Valley. But I guess we're going to have to see what's happened with that one. I know for a fact there was definitely a project planned for Galactica to be rethemed. However, with some of the recent cutbacks, there's a chance it may not be happening now. I guess we're just going to have to see what happens this winter, and of course we'll keep you updated with all the latest. But yeah, all we've heard at the moment is that potentially it's being cancelled, which is a shame if so. I mean, we'll see what happens when we have the coming weeks and months, but as it stands at the moment, are we going to see the Galactica retheme this year? I'm probably expecting it not to happen, even with all the hints for fireworks. You've got to think the fireworks display is planned many months in advance. They actually start planning it as soon as this year's ends. They'll start planning for next year. So obviously, there's a lot of hints to Galactica's retheme in there. Is it going to happen or not? I guess we'll see. But yeah, there's been a lot of budget cuts and a lot of changes that have been made behind the scenes, not just at Alton Towers, but across the Merlin Group recently. So yeah, don't be too disappointed if we don't see any changes to this for next year. But you never know, it might still happen. But yeah, we're just going to have to watch this space. As always, we'll keep you updated. And a 45-minute wait for Galactica this afternoon on the final day of the 2024 season. Has passed since that last clip down in Forbidden Valley. Just been enjoying some more time on the park and speaking with lots of people. And yeah, it's always really nice, the fireworks, because there's so many people that come down here and travel from all across the UK to come and experience the awesome ultimate fireworks spectacular. I'm going to head into the launch shortly to go and watch the show tonight. Really excited for it once again. Not going to be filming anything from the fireworks tonight, because of course we've got the dedicated vlog and also the full show video on the channel. So I'll see you after the fireworks tonight. We're going to head down to Forbidden Valley and of course enjoy the area at night once again and get a last ride of the season on Nemesis Reborn. See you a little bit later. had another awesome night of the Alton Towers Fireworks Spectacular. Wonderful to see the show again. Of course, make sure you check out the full video here on the channel. But here we go, the last 30 minutes of the season. I'm down here now in Forbidden Valley to end on Nemesis. But first, we're going to make a little detour over to the Blade. Now, the Blade has operated here at Alton Towers originally as the pirate ship since 1980. Of course, making it the oldest ride here at the park. And yeah, it's actually 44 years old. We've actually heard a few rumours the Blade could be removed over winter, so we want to get down here and have a ride. I mean, it'd be sad if we lose another flat ride, but you know, we've got to make the most of it when you hear rumours like this, especially from credible sources. So you're going to get a ride on the Blade. And here it is, operating for the final evening, we believe, here at Alton Towers. 44 years of service. Really sad to see another flat ride go, if that is the case. Obviously the park have not confirmed anything, but yeah, from a few of our sources, this could be the last night for Blade. So we thought we may as well have a ride. In the past, there's been many times where we thought Blade was going to go, you know, so this could finally be that time. Pray for Blade. 1980 to 2024. Thanks for everything, Blade. Thanks for the memories. Oh, there we go, and if this is the end for you, the Blade, thanks for the memories. There we go. I guess we'll see what happens over winter. Oh, here we go, the time has come. Final ride of the 2024 season here at Alton Towers. Last year it was Wicker Man because, of course, Nemesis was closed. The year before that, it was our final rides on original Nemesis. And here we go tonight, final ride of the season on Nemesis Reborn. Here we go. This certainly has been a highlight of the year, it really has. During what has been quite a dark year for the park, once again, sadly, this has been amazing. What they did with Reborn, incredible. The time has come, this is it. Last ride of the season. It's a back row ride on Nemesis Reborn, here we go. Fantastic. Down here on row 8, what a year it's been. Many, many rides on this beauty throughout the year, and this is it. You're happy and you know it, clap your hands. An incredible final ride of the season there on Nemesis Reborn. Thanks, Nemi, for all the memories. Actually, I should be saying that to the eye just here. Thanks, Nemi, for all the memories this year. Honestly, this ride is just incredible, and it means so much to me. It really does. So to see Nemesis get reborn for this year has certainly been the highlight for me of this season. It has been incredible. Seeing the transformation of Nemesis into Reborn, and of course Forbidden Valley, really has been amazing. Like, I've loved that so much. I really have. It's been an up and down season, hasn't it, of emotions. Honestly, we've been all the way through it this year. There's been some highs, there's been some lows, but ultimately Nemesis was reborn, and that was certainly the highlight for me. And the fireworks, which were also incredible. Scare Festival, we saw some nice improvements for this year with Compound. It's very much been the year of Nemesis and the Phalanx and Compound, but you know what, that has been incredible, and that's certainly been the real highlight for me of this season. Of course, as we move into 2025 and beyond, my biggest wish for Alton Towers next year is just improving that ride availability, because that has been a major issue here at the park in 2024. You know, we've seen some days here where it's been terrible with ride availability, and as we go into a winter where we know that Alton Towers and Merlin are going to be making a lot of behind the scenes changes, let's just hope that next year we really see that ride availability on top form. I think it's going to be a bit of a difficult winter for the park and Merlin in general as changes are made, but as we go into 25, let's hope that things are going to be a lot better for Alton Towers and Merlin in general. But there we go, Nemesis roaring around the tracks, the end of the season. An emotional time, as always, it really is when we take that last ride. But as always, a huge thank you to all the staff at Alton Towers that I've interacted with and spoke with throughout the year. It really is the place that, you know, took my heart when I was a kid. I've been coming here ever since, and you know, I love Alton Towers. And as much as we have had some negativity this year, ultimately it's still been wonderful down here with Nemesis and Forbidden Valley and taking it all in. I just hope for better things for the park moving forward next year. We've got the new flat ride to look forward to, some other changes coming as well, and yeah, let's just see what 2025 has to bring here at the Alton Towers Resort. A roller coaster of emotions from start to finish, but you know what, ending it with a Nemesis night ride, final ride of the season, has been wonderful as always. Well, thanks so much for your continued support, we really do appreciate it. We've got lots planned over winter as well, and yeah, we can't wait to take you along for even more content here on the channel. But for the final time from the main season here at Alton Towers, that leaves me with one final thing to say: get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video. Whee!